I honestly believe that the skills and knowledge that I learnt at McDonald's were what got me to a seven-figure business. I didn't know any different. I thought was normal. McDonald's is run on a million systems and processes bolted together. One person can't run a McDonald's, and that's how I ran my business from day one.
Welcome back to the Business Growth Lab podcast. And I thought I'd just take over today because I just thought I would. So I actually wanted to chat to you about Maccas.
Ah, so hang on. Do you know Macca's? We only call it Macca's in Australia. Did you know that?
Oh, yes.
The rest of the world actually calls it McDonald's.
Yes. Yeah. Some of our friends in the States are going, what are you
What is
talking about?"
Macca's?
What is that?
Yeah, but we actually do. Yeah, I heard someone say, "Oh, Macca's is just because we shorten it," but it's actually called Macca's in Australia because it's like the My Macca's app.
Yes.
It's actually
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
So it's a thing. So
yeah,
they chuck a Yui at the servo and go to Macca's.
exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. So McDonald's was my very first job when I was 15. I started there, and I had a ball. I had an absolute ball. I loved working there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I hope it's still the same for the kids when they start these days at Macca's. So
I think it would be different.
yeah.
It doesn't look like it was when you walk into a McDonald's now, it doesn't look like the party that we were having back in the 80s. Like like, yeah, it was such a fun place to work, and it was like my second family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up is that it's come up quite often in conversation, and things we've learnt. And I've got a bit of a similar story from where I start off as well. And
Yeah.
I feel it's very similar in a lot of ways. But you talked a lot about Macca's,
Yep.
McDonald's, and working there and what it's taught you.
Yeah.
So now, if I've guessed this right, I think I've got three things here,
Yep.
but I wanted to ask you what the top three things were that you actually got from Macca's. I'm sure there's more than three, don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong. But I think there's probably three that directly came into business.
Yeah. I am going to be like, come straight out of the gates and say I think that someone up there was really looking over me, knew I wanted to go into business, and orchestrated me actually working there. I honestly believe that because at the time that I applied for that job, I think I dropped, I don't know if you did this, but like I turned 15 and I dropped my resumes at all of the places at Woolworths and Coles, and I can't even remember where, but I remember walking around our local Westfield and handing it out to so many people. And I got my McDonald's job on the spot that day because I dropped it in. It was the very last place because the McDonald's was outside the Westfield. So my mum had driven me there. I'd walked around the Westfield, given my resume everywhere, and I walked into McDonald's. It was the very last one. They were all printed off. And I went up to the counter and I said, "Oh, I'd like to put my resume in for a job." And I can still remember the name of the girl that was even behind the counter. And she was like, "Hey," because she was at the counter, but the store managers were all sitting down. It was a quiet time. It was between shifts, between kind of it was the after school time, obviously, and they were all having coffee, and the afternoon staff were leaving, and the night managers were coming in, so they were all having a coffee together and a cigarette. In those days, you could actually smoke in a place. So anyway, and she calls over and she goes, "Well, there they all are. There's all the managers." And I turned around and just like as a 15-year-old girl, just like, "Mm." Because there was all these guys just sitting there staring at me. So anyway, handed my resume and he's like, "Actually, we've got some positions to fill now. Like, have you got 10 minutes? We'll do your interview now." And I got the job on the spot. So I honestly believe that someone up there was looking after me because I honestly believe that the skills and knowledge that I learnt at McDonald's were what got me to a seven-figure business because I didn't know any different. It's what I learnt there and I thought was normal. And what I mean by normal is that everyone just knew these things. I've since learnt that most people don't know these things, but because I knew them as like this is just the way it is, that's what took me to seven figures. So getting back to your original question, I haven't forgotten it. The top 3 things, number 1 would be systems and processes, because McDonald's is run on a million systems and processes bolted together. There is a system and a process for everything, and it is so simple. Like, the onboarding process for a new team member is watching well, back in the day, watching videos that, we put an old VHS
Yeah,
in
that's
in the
right.
video
You
out the
sent it
back.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it was learning them rote, these systems and processes. So that was number 1. Number 2 would be, recording KPIs and data. Like, they were recorded multiple times every day. They were recorded back in those days in a diary, like in a paper diary where there was like a day to a page, where the printout from the registers after, breakfast rush, lunch rush, tea rush were like stapled in there. There was notes like what the weather was for that day, or was it school holidays, or, all of this stuff that I've since learned that, that's how it works. And number 3 is the importance of team. Like, one person can't run a McDonald's store. You can't sort of run out the front, take an order on the drive-through, run out the back, make it, wrap it, bring it back out. Like, it just doesn't work. So I think they're the 3 things that I understood you needed to be able to run a business, and that's how I ran my business from day one.
Yeah, yeah. Just going back to systems and the processes, and I had a similar kind of story when I started as well. Um, and it just felt to me, I just took that understanding of that's how you do it.
Yes.
That's it. And it stuck with me for well, it's been stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, you said you didn't realize that there was any different way. Like,
No, it's the only way I knew.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only way I knew. And it wasn't until quite a few years later, with different things. Actually, I can give you one specific example of when I realized it wasn't a thing. One of my uncles was very, very high up in National Australia Bank, and he was in a national training position. And he came to me and he's like, "Any chance I can get a copy of those McDonald's trainings manuals?" I didn't do it. I did not do it.
So if anyone from Macca's is out there, no,
It didn't happen.
not hand it over. All
But
right?
that's when I realized, oh, okay, it's not how everyone runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and to be fair, these companies have invested a lot of money in those processes, and I know, myself, what I've seen, a lot of time and money has been put into creating these processes to make sure they work and testing them. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's called engineering of some kind, but
Yeah.
they actually, have people that check to make things happen in certain timeframes, and they're,
Yeah.
they're actually repeatable, all those kind
Yeah.
of things. So, very tried and true tested process.
Well, I remember when I read, there's an autobiography that came out written by Ray Kroc, who is the founder of McDonald's. And this was way before the movie came out, which the movie disappointed me because that put him in a kind Ray Kroc in sort of a bad light, where I'd read this book and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I wanna be Ray Kroc." And right from the very beginning when they, mapped out this first McDonald's, he was walking and counting the steps between sort of the milkshake machine and the car that was in the lot and back to wherever it was. I can't remember the exact story, but it was mapped out, and they actually, like, taped it on the ground. It was down to that minute detail, and, you've been with me places before. I remember one of them was being at the football one night, and, when you go to a football game, it's really, really busy for the food vans before the game, and then it's really, really busy for the food vans at halftime, right? And I remember this food van had I think there was like 5 staff people in there, but they were all doing the same thing. So they would all serve, and then they would all try and go and get the food at the same time. So they were crashing in together. And then they would all go to the register at the same time. So they're standing around waiting. And I remember saying to you at the time, like, how can they not understand this? You put one person at the register taking the order, and then that goes to the next person, and that goes to the next person. So they're walking in order, and that you can serve the maximum people in this really short time frame. That's a piece of McDonald's knowledge
Yeah,
that I got.
yeah, yeah,
To understand that you don't want everyone just standing around waiting. It's like, how can we get the maximum people through at any time?
yeah, yeah. Oh, I've actually had the pleasure of being part of a time and motion study.
Yep.
And yeah, and it is exactly that. It's like, and obviously I was in supermarkets, right? But it's a similar thing. It's like if you're filling cartons, for example, picking that carton up, opening it, and then walking to wherever it is, or if you need to go and put the cardboard in the cardboard crusher, like how from the aisle all the way out the back to the cardboard crusher, crush it, and come back again, and how long it actually takes you. And I've also been quite amazed at how it, it's not what you think it is.
No.
It's not just like 30 seconds. No, it's always minutes. And
Yes.
yeah, just to get from one side to the other. And I think that's critical. And this is like, comes back to we were talking earlier today about Mercedes, for example, and they're finding a tenth of a second or whatnot. If you can shave seconds off, let's say, getting the fries out,
Yep.
yeah, how many more fries can you serve,
Yeah.
in that same time? So, it's an eye opener as well. So I think that
Absolutely.
translates really well into business of doing things that aren't necessarily the hard way.
Totally. So it's like looking at those processes, how can we do them the easiest, the simplest, because also you want them to be simple. The more complex a process is, the not only is it more likely to break, but it'll break harder. I don't know another way to say that, but the,
Catastrophic, maybe.
yeah, it'll hit catastrophic status quicker than just like a little earth tremor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say as well is that something pointed out to me, one of my, I think it was one of my regional managers, I can't know who it was now, but he said, if you ever wanted to prove something wrong, if you think something doesn't work, you follow the process exactly. Funny, it always worked. But also the same thing applies here. You go, well, if something has a system and a process and you don't follow the process and then it breaks, it didn't break because the process was bad. You just didn't follow it.
That's exactly right. I know you say it all the time. Just follow the process.
Yeah.
If it's not working, go back and just follow the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that really translate well into business.
Yeah.
So you mentioned KPIs.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm big into KPIs and data.
yeah, yeah, and we were the same. I know we're kind of talking about you here, but about me, SideQuest, I relate to that because we had the daily trading statement.
Yep.
And it was a huge book. It was, is it A3? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's huge, yeah, because it has the same thing. It has, I think it was a week per page, but it had every day on it.
Yep.
It had all the wages and everything else went into it as well. So you
Yep.
track it as you went.
Yep.
Same thing. It had the weather and the details in it, so that you go to the next year and you're like, oh my goodness, what happened this year?
Yeah, you
Like
look,
this
yeah,
date last
you look
year.
back and it's like, oh, hang on a minute. I can see why this, was so much different. Like last year it was pouring with rain on this day, or
School holiday.
yeah, the
Something
school
else.
holidays broke a week early or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you think having this, like the KPIs, like, kind of like in your memory of what you did your first job, helped you in business?
In business, it taught me right from the beginning that, okay, we've got these numbers. And I think I've told this story on the podcast before. I used to, like my little school uniform, because I used to catch the bus straight from school to work. So I had time to kill because I didn't have enough time to catch the bus home and to work, but I had time to kill if I caught the bus straight to work. So I used to like lob in there and I used to I used to jump onto the manager's desk and like sit there with my little legs hanging over the edge of my little tiny, my school uniform that was hitched up because I like that actually sounds really bad. It wasn't like that, but I used to, with my little piggy tails, I used to lob on the desk and write, why are you writing that number down? Like, what are you doing here? And I used to ask so many questions. And the store manager of that store, who owned 4 stores, he told me he absolutely loved me asking the questions. He's like, you know, um, kids don't ask these questions. So he really took me under his wing and he used to enjoy answering all the questions. So I started to get a real understanding, like, oh, why are you stapling those numbers in the diary there? Like, what are you doing? And so I had a really good understanding of what all of those numbers were being kept for. So that when I started my business, I I understood why the numbers were being kept. So I was able to see where the gaps were. Oh, we didn't do those sales today because of that reason. Or we did do, that 10% growth this week because of that reason. So I understood right from the beginning where to look for the data to make things better. And I that is what really helped me to constantly be understanding, okay, well, we're going to trial this piece of marketing this week because this is the number I'm specifically trying to move. Because there's lots of different ways you can grow your revenue, right? It's not just to get more leads. It could be increasing your well, we called it basket price. I think you did it always
Mhm.
too, but essentially like have a customer purchase more things like upsells or purchase a longer membership or whatever it is. It could be keep a customer for longer. It could be put your prices up. Like this, and it not could be, can be. There's different ways to have more revenue, and it's not just bring in more customers. So I understood how all of those numbers related. Also, on top of that, I just want to tell this little story, seeing we're all on the stories today. It meant that the first time we did our $1 million year, we knew exactly what day it was going to happen. So me and my business partner were both in that one store that day because we wanted to be in there to high five each other when it happened. Not only did we know what day it was going to be, because we tracked our data so well, we knew the exact customer that tipped that. Because we knew the number that we were aiming for. The second that customer came in, we're like, we did it. Our first $1 million year. High fives, straight back to work. But we knew it. It wasn't like 6 months down the track when the accountant did our figures, went, oh, you did $1 million this year. Like we knew to the day everything that happened. We knew to the day what revenue we were aiming for. We knew to the day what our customer count, was meant to be, like what we were projecting. And we still do that in our business today. We know what comes in every single day. We know what our week, like how much we earn per week. We know what comes in per month. We know, depending on how many customers, what our marketing spend is. We know all of these numbers because I learned right back from day one at McDonald's how it all worked.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that it's actually helped you forecast? Because I don't hear the word forecast used a lot in the online space. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's this is part of the pond that I'm in. I don't know, but
I don't
they
think many people do
no, they
forecast.
kind of plan or I don't know what they call it, but they kind of set this figure.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you
I
you
don't,
call it forecast. We
yeah,
always use the word projections.
yeah,
So at the beginning of the year, I've always done projections,
yeah,
and I always know this is what we're working towards. This is the projected number of clients that we're going to sign this month. This is the projected marketing spend.
yeah.
This, we know the numbers, and I don't think that many people do. I think that I don't know. It's like that the art of old
Yeah.
school business has kind of
I think
died a little bit.
they've got incomplete data sets,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah.
think is the issue because you can't do a proper forecast projection, whatever you want to call it.
So can you explain that a little bit more so that
Yeah, so if you wanted to, hit seven figures, for example, you need to know, say, how many more clients you need, but you need to know what your marketing spend needs to be, for example, and the data points along the way to get to that seven figures. And I don't think without a complete data set, you can actually analyze it properly.
totally. Well, let's talk about that in real world and how we use that just last week. That you came to me and said, this is the amount of people that we want to sign this month. And I went, okay, this is our conversion rate. This is, we worked backwards. Okay, that's our conversion rate. This is how many people that we're likely to get, calls booked. we know that if we want this certain amount of clients signed and we know what this is our conversion rate, that means we need X amount of people on calls. That means we need X amount of people to opt in, which goes back to, all right, well, if we know that our cost per lead is this much, so that's at one end, and we know that we want this many clients within, I think, 10 seconds, I told you, okay, that's what our ad spend needs to be, exactly this much per for next week or for the next month. Like, I knew straight away when you told me we're going for this number, and I went, okay, well, this is the marketing budget, because we knew all of the numbers for that whole pipeline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, from one end of the pipeline to the
To
other.
the other.
Yeah.
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 And I don't think that most people don't even know one of those pieces,
Yeah.
let alone all of those pieces. Where because it's something I've learnt from day one, it's just normal to me.
Yeah.
It's what I've been doing for, over 30 years now.
Yeah, yeah. I know, bit of a side note, side quest, side note. I think people also have a mindset where they don't realize that you've just talked about there, you need to invest this much money into getting those leads to get those clients at the end of it. And but I said investment. And whereas I think some people think of it as a spend.
Oh,
Not a
yes.
spend.
I don't want to spend
Yeah.
$10 on marketing this week.
But you still want the clients.
But you probably bought a coffee, 2 coffees for that just yesterday,
Yeah.
rather than thinking, let's invest that $10 and then get $20 out. Like, every time you put $1 in, if you can get $10 out, wouldn't you just keep putting your dollars in all day, every day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you really got, yeah.
Yeah. Please, so off the top
100%.
10. But I think it's a good thing to
Yep.
to keep in mind.
Yeah.
What about team?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
That was a real, like,
yeah, I've come across this, and I know you've learned a lot from it. From my point of view, I've always overestimated what I could do personally,
Uh-huh.
and absolutely kidding myself sometimes. I used to
Mhm.
do a lot, like in my job,
Mhm.
and realizing that you can't actually cover for a bad team member.
No.
So you go, yeah, I'll just get that done as well. I'm like, I already had 10 hours of work to do in 8. I can't add more on there.
That's exactly right.
Doesn't work.
Yep.
But what's your learnings from what you learned at Macca's,
Yep.
McDonald's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You taken on?
Right from day one, I think I saw our store manager serving customers. Now, I was there for 2 years. In that 2 years, I think I saw him serve customers once, and it was because he was out the back and we got this, like, crazy, like, influx of people, and he came out and he just served a couple of people to ease the problem and then walked away. He didn't stay there.
Yep.
Like, so it was his business and we all did the work. Well, he was out the back making the really big decisions, like, which managers am I gonna hire? Even then, he wasn't hiring the team on the floor. He was making the big decisions, he was organizing the marketing, and he was hiring the top management. So if he did that, there was a reason why, all right? He had multi-million-dollar businesses. Why was it done like that? Well, it's because you've only got a finite amount of hours in the day. So what are the jobs that only I can do? Well, it's the big vision thinking. It's, it's spending the big money from the top, not the little tiny little $10 or $20 task, but I'm talking the big vision, and also hiring the people that are going to move the needle the most. So that's what I've always done.
Mm.
That's the way I've done it.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is when we help people to try and grow their businesses and they go, oh, and it comes up every now and again, I don't want to grow this too big because I'll run out of time. Huh? You hire people to do that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I've never quite understood that concept. I don't want to grow my business too big because I don't want to do the work. It's putting 1 and 2 together and coming up with 25. It's like, no, grow the business, but put the other people in place to do that work. So that's what I've always thought. I'm like, well, if Chris only went and served the customers once in 2 years that I knew of, maybe it was a couple of times, I don't know, then I'm not the one that needs to be doing all the things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know we've chatted about previously as well about, if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing and you're the CEO or the business owner, there's something else that hasn't been done that you should have been doing as well.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is that if you want to be a business owner, that's why you have a team, because you want to be the business owner
Yeah.
and not the worker
Yeah.
or the operator.
Yeah. No, I mean, I talked a little bit because I had retail, but I also had a dance studio, so a service-based business. I was obviously, well, not obviously, I was a really good teacher. Um, a lot. We attracted a lot of people that wanted a certain style of dancing because that was my style of teaching, right? But for me to grow my studio, I couldn't do it with me doing all the teaching. So I hired the best ballet teachers I could at the time, people that had been in the Australian Ballet Company. Um, I hired, a hip hop dancer that was, one of the best commercial dancers at the time. I went and I hired the best teachers in all of their genres so that it didn't all land on me. We could be such a good studio because I hired all of those amazing people. No, it's the same now. We have coaches that work for us. Why would I, like, why would I want to buy a dog and bark too? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of people get confused because they're like, oh, well, I've run out of time or I don't have any more capacity. It's coming to the wrong conclusion. It's like, who do I need to be able to grow this thing or to build this thing? And that also came from McDonald's. And Chris, who was the owner of our store, like right when I very first went to him and went, hey, I'm going to open a business. He actually went, I'd love to mentor you. And he did. He mentored me for a couple of years. If I ever had a problem, I would go to him and say, blah, blah, blah. And he would go, well, look at it this way. So I was exceptionally lucky to have that start. I guess he had a little soft spot for the little girl with the little short school uniform that used to lob herself on his desk.
Well, I saw you're an A player because you got hired in 10 minutes.
Yep.
But it does bring up another point though, which is not one of the, well, that could be top 3, top 5, I don't know. But the importance of having not just a team that work for you, but the team that is that is your support.
Uh-huh.
So that will be the Chris, I think it was Chris, the manager from McDonald's. He was actually that mentor, that's part of your team. He's the support for you.
Yes.
So, and I think that's probably something that I learned as well, was I had the same things. I had mentors
Yeah.
that were support as well. So I think that's also something that is, you need to talk about team.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's your accountant, it's your bookkeeper, it's your mentors, it's your coaches, it's the agencies that you've hired, it's your team, it's your family that helps out, it's your cleaners, it's the people that help you deliver your groceries. It is all of the people that help all of this to go where it needs to go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So in summarizing it, the systems we had number one
Yeah.
for systems.
Yeah.
We kicked off with that, and I'm 100% with you on that one. That makes everything else so much easier.
Yeah. I mean, you hear it when we do a team meeting. We do 2 team meetings
Yep.
a week, and someone will be talking about something. I go, "Is there a recorded system for that?"
Yep.
Because on that, can I just say, I don't record the systems. I don't do that. I've got way more important things that need to be happening in the business that only I can deal with. So if we've done something, it's on the team's head to make sure the system is recorded and in the right place so that other team members can access it. That's a really important thing because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm too busy to do the systems. Don't do the systems.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And the second point was the KPIs, or
Yep.
I was like,
Data.
data.
Yeah,
Yeah.
data.
Yeah, and the importance of having data.
Yep.
And if you don't, you haven't got anything to work with.
Yeah, you're guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flying blind.
Probably a better way to say it. Yep. Driving along the road at 100 k's an hour.
The headlights
I
off.
don't know how many miles an hour that is, with your lights
60
off,
miles an hour.
but looking in the rear vision mirror as
Yeah.
well, like,
Yep.
"Whoa."
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Yeah, do not recommend. And the third was team and the
Yep.
importance of team.
Yeah, so important to have team. Yeah. Yeah. So I love the questions that you've brought to this episode, but I think what I want people to really take away is that these things that I learned from really big business are what we need in all business to grow. It's not just for big business. It's that everyone needs to be paying attention to these things to be able to grow. It's not just for your top 10 companies, it's not just for Apple and Woolworths and McDonald's. It's for every single one of us. And if you're listening or watching and you're really unsure of how to record systems and processes, what systems and processes you need, where your constraints are, what data you need to be recording, how to diagnose what you need to be doing by what the data is showing you. If you want to be hiring a team member and you don't know how to go about it, or even to know when to hire someone in your team, definitely reach out and reach out to either Leon and I on Instagram. Our handles will be in the comments below. And just reach out and just, introduce yourself. Let us know what your business is. And just simply say, hey, I'd love to book a call with you. We'd love to jump on a call and help you diagnose some of these issues so that you can grow. And the reason I'm so passionate about this, and I don't think we've talked about this quite enough, the reason I am so passionate about this is because we use our businesses, or the reason we have business is to make money, and we use that money to make memories. The things that my business has enabled me to do with my children and my family, like the memories we've got of, going to my kids. We took our kids to the most amazing amount of countries in the world. Like, they've been to Disneyland multiple times. We've been all around Australia. We've done so many things. We've taken them to, we've done so many fun things. We've created so many great memories because we had the money to enable us to do it. So that's what I'm really passionate about, helping people to make money so that they can make memories. So if that's you and you want to grow your business so you can make more money and make more memories, then reach out to us on Instagram and we'd love to have a chat with you.
And I love talking about systems, data, and teams. So yeah, love to hear from anyone that wants to dive down those rabbit holes.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Leon, for bringing those questions. That was super interesting. I didn't know what we were going to be talking about today, and that was fun. Brought back lots of memories of the things that we used to do at Macca's, like back in the day. We used to have all the stores actually used to even compete against each other,
Yep.
like who can make the fastest cheeseburgers and who can run the quickest drive-through. We had I've got the greatest memories from working at McDonald's back in the day. So thanks for helping bring those memories out again.
Yes. Well, thank you for the trip down memory lane, and we look forward to seeing you all next week on another episode.